So today is Vav, the month of Cheshvan. And we'll go back to the halachot that we were talking about before, about washing the hands when you wake up in the morning. And we said that next class, we're going to talk about other times that we have to wash your hands. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Just to remind everyone, if you live in Eretz Yisrael, so tonight is Zayin Cheshvan. And in Eretz Yisrael, we begin saying, Ten Talo Matar. We ask for the rain. In Chutz La'aretz, we don't ask for rain until the evening of the 5th of December this year. Okay? Just to remind. Now let's learn the halacha. The Shulchan Aruch says that these are other things, a whole list that need washing with water. So we said already, someone who gets up from sleeping, and we mentioned already two things. At night, if he slept, of course he has to wash his hands. The serugim 6 times, like we learned before. We mentioned a few things already. In the daytime, he should also wash his hands. Why? Perhaps he touched the covered places of the body, and it's sweat, it's dirty. He should wash his hands. We say also someone who leaves the Beit HaKiseh, he goes out of the bathroom, even if he did not use the bathroom, he should wash his hands. Of course, if he used the bathroom, he should wash his hands. Okay. And we said he should not wash in the bathroom unless there's a curtain and if it's clean. Because if it's dirty, even in our bathroom like today, if it's dirty, definitely you can't wash there. If it's clean and it's covered, there's a curtain, better to wash outside if it's possible. Okay, and also we said Bet HaMerchatz, someone who is in the bathhouse and you leave the bathhouse, also he should wash his hands. It's considered a dirty place. Also, a person takes a shower, of course. Also, he has to wash his hands after you take a shower. You have to wash your hands. That's what we're up to now. Someone who cuts his nails. Someone who cuts his nails also has to wash his hands. Okay? It's because of ruach ra'ah.
3 times.
Bad spirit. Yes, 3 times. He should wash his hands. Okay? What about someone who bites his nails? Someone who bites his nails, the Maisi doesn't have to wash his hands after biting the nails. Only when he takes off kacha b'ofen shitati and like he's cleaning himself. Okay, takes off the nails. Yeah. Now, next thing is a choletz min alav. Someone who takes off his shoes. It's not only take off his shoes, someone who touches his shoes. So when the Shulchan Aruch says shoes over here, it means shoes is leather shoes. Whenever you touch leather shoes, you have to wash your hands. You don't have to wash your hands 6 times, it's enough to wash your hands. Leather shoes. What about, soon we'll talk about other shoes. What about tying your shoes? If I just tied my shoes I have leather shoes, and I tied my shoes without touching the shoe. I just touched the laces is called, right? Shoelace. Right? There's a machloket if I have to wash my hands or not. So if you have water, so wash your hands, and if you don't, so you're allowed to say Torah, everything. Why do we have to wash our hands? It's because of filth. Shoes are low, they're on the floor. They're dirty, they probably are dirty. So you wash your hands before you can, so you continue. We're always serving Hashem. Everything we do in our life, we're serving Hashem. So we always have to try to be pure as much as possible. So we touch our shoes, we want to say a bracha now. It's a problem. You have filth in your hands, you have to wash your hands. What about other shoes? Other shoes, so that I saw the Acharonim say that other shoes, so it depends. If you touch them towards the bottom of the shoe, the bottom part of the shoe, not only the bottom flap, talking about the whole bottom part of the shoe, you should also wash your hands. It doesn't have to do with a cup. You just have to wash clean your hands. That will help also that cleansing alcohol thing. It'll be enough for that too, because you're cleaning your hands basically. But if you touch the top of the shoe, you won't have to wash your hands if it's clean. You can see if it's clean. Basically, you have to clean your hands. That's the main thing. The next thing is if someone touched his feet. Took off his shoe without touching it, and he has a pitria. He has a, I don't know how to say in English, eczema, whatever, on his foot. And he wants to scratch.
Oh, it's a fungus?
A fungus, right. Also mushrooms, the same thing. So
What about mushrooms?
not mushrooms, fungus. If a person has a fungus on his foot, he wants to scratch and he touches his feet, and he has to wash his hands. Okay? Because it's filth, he has to wash his hands. Same thing. If someone he did not bathe his whole body, he just washed his head. Okay? With soap, he washed his head. Okay? So also then a person has to wash his hands. Okay. That's the minhag today. If someone goes to the cemetery, into a cemetery, he should wash his hands. So we'll talk about that in a second. If someone is in a levaya, he's at a funeral, even if he did not touch the bed, even he was mishtatef, he was just participating in a funeral, he should also wash his hands. Of course, if he touched the dead, if he carried the bed, of course, you're dealing with burial, of course he has to wash his hands. How do you have to wash your hands? Halachically, it's enough to take a cup and wash your hands, one on each hand, and the minhag is to wash your face afterwards also. Just to rub your face with water. And all of this should be done before you enter a building. That's why you'll see in every cemetery there's a washing place outside the building, even though there's a building there where you could it's a funeral house, right, where there's a spadium, where there's eulogies and stuff going on at the beginning of the funeral. Still, the washing will be outside. You're not supposed to go into a building before you wash your hands. Some persons say it's better to wash 3 times, like in the morning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 times on each hand alternatively. Okay, so like in the morning, and also to rub your face with that water. Okay, it's minagim. That's what we do. Another thing is, if a person maflik elav, he has in his clothing paroshim. I don't know how to call them in English. Little bugs, whatever, on his clothing. In the olden days, it was more common than today. Okay, that there were clothing bugs. I don't know what you call them. There's
Lice.
Ash, lice, stuff like that. Yeah.
Nits.
And a person now he's sitting down and he's cleaning his clothing. So then, he should wash his hands. Also lice, if you touch lice, you're checking yourself for lice and you found the lice and you touched it, you have to wash your hands afterwards. Okay. Now, also a person who gives blood, he donates blood. Okay? Or blood was taken out of him for medical reasons, he needs to wash his hands afterwards. Okay, he should go and wash his hands. Can. No, if it's stomach cut, he doesn't have to.
Okay. Like he washes his hands cleaning, but he doesn't use
Right, exactly. But if blood was taken out of it, right, exactly.
Okay.
It has to do with ruach ra'ah. It's a Gemara. Okay. And it says, I don't want to scare anyone, but someone who gave blood and did not wash his hands, okay, the result will be he'll be afraid for 7 days. That's what the Shulchan Aruch says. Yeah, for 7 days. He'll have fear, has anxiety. Okay, he'll be afraid. Another thing is, someone who takes a haircut, he also has to wash his hands. The person who got the haircut done to him, even though he did not touch his head at all, he wants to wash his hands. So to the same thing goes by cutting the nails. The person you cut your kid's nail, take him and wash his hands.
Over 3 days of fear.
Okay, and if not, the result will be 3 days of fear. It's not as taking out blood, which is 7 days of fear if you don't wash your hands. It's like cutting your hair, cutting your nails. If a person cuts his hair and does not wash his hands, have 3 days of fear. We don't want that.
Regular washing or with the cup?
With the cup. It's for ruach ra'ah. Okay.
Because for shaving is good.
Shaving, yeah? I don't know, because in Allah we don't shave. I'll tell you what, I don't know about shaving, I'll tell you why. Shaving, I have an idea why they say I won't have to wash my hands. Why? Because why is there ruach ra'ah when I'm cutting the hair of my head? Because the hair of the head is motarot, is extra from the brain. That's what it says in the Kabbalah. The extra part of the brains. So it has tumah. extra. It's like it's an excrement. We don't want it. We're taking it out. But the beard is good. It's kindness. It's shefa. So that's why I could say it's holy. Okay, I touch my beard. It's holy. It's holy. It's a holy thing. Hair, I touch. I have to go and wash my hands. My beard, I touch. Unless it's like a place where I'm really sweaty, then I'll have to wash. But like the hair, if I touch under my kippah, I have to go wash your hands. Why? There's sweat over there. So I don't know about the beard. I didn't see the halacha if you shave your beard, if you also have to wash your hands or not. I don't know. Tov. Now, when someone is praying, or he's learning Torah, or he's eating, what does he have to make sure? He doesn't touch revealed, covered places of his body. What's considered covered? So for me, anything below my elbow is considered covered. Why? Because I always cover it. So it's more sweat over there because it's covered. It's kept there, right? Put your hand down your shirt, it's covered. It's considered covered for everyone. Okay? Covered places.
Good question.
Okay? It's covered. The question afterwards. Shnia. Once again. Okay, he's asking a question. We have to take it out afterwards. Yes, ask.
So like
and next time, ask afterwards better. Yeah.
Here, it's not I usually wear sleeves that are short, right? You said for you because you wear long sleeves here.
Right. If a person wears a higher sleeves, so it's not considered a covered place.
Okay.
Right. But I just want to tell you that short sleeves like that, you're allowed to say bracha.
Huh?
You're allowed to say bracha, you're allowed to daven and everything, but you're not allowed to be a chazan or to get aliyah la Torah like that. So what happens is, if you're a chazan or get aliyah la Torah, either they give you a talit, which you're supposed to cover your elbows with, your arms with, or they have, especially in some shoes, they have like a sleeve, just a sleeve that you dress onto you. It has a elastic at the top.
That's cool.
Yeah, I saw in shoes like that, and because it's not covered at tzibur, but you're allowed to pray like that. Okay. And when we talk about prayers, we'll talk about also that. Okay. Once again, so we'll resume and say that therefore a person has to be very careful when he's praying, when he's eating, when he's learning Torah, not to touch covered places. And if he did, it's important to get up and go and wash your hands, because you can't learn Torah in Tuma, in Lichluch. Wash what?
Almost everything is covered.
Yeah. If you don't touch under there, you want to scratch your head, you scratch like this. You want to scratch it, you scratch with your clothing, not with touching. Okay, or the thighs or the feet. Okay, it's important to places which are filthy, or more sweaty, more dirty. You need to wash your hands afterwards. It's important with children to teach them that. Kids are always touching all over the place. Kids are always scratching, always this, always that. Important to teach the kids to be pure. Go wash your hands. Come back. I'll wait for you. It's important that the kid will know this. And if what happens, fine, I touched this. I'm on the bus now. I touched. Oh yeah, I touched. Now I have another hour on the bus. I'm not supposed to learn because of that, because the whole hour now I can't learn. Can? Or I used the bathroom and there was no water. I was somewhere. I was in the field. I'm sitting and learning in the field. Now I can't learn and learn because I used the bathroom. You could. What do? You could rub your hands in the meantime on anything which is cleansing. What's considered? You could take a leaf and just rub your hand. You could do on earth. Take earth, dirt, just rub your hand. It's more filthy, right? No, but it's considered cleaning. Take a stone, rub your hand on a stone or on a tree. Just make sure on a tree there's no sap over there, because then kind of yeah. It's called kol mili de menake. Okay, it's not good for bad spirits, but it's good for cleansing. You said that? Now, the halacha is that that before shacharit, a person has to wash his hands with water. Before tefillat shacharit, we wash our hands with water. Okay? It doesn't mean don't pray if you don't have water. You can still pray if you don't have water. But the halacha is you need to wash your hands. Before every tefillah, it's good to wash your hands. Okay? But in the morning, there's even a bracha and al yadayim. It's before the tefillah, the special bracha. But even before mincha, before arvit, it's good to wash your hands with water. It's good to do that. It's a good thing to do. It's brought down in the halakha to do. Okay? It's not like shachrit. Shachrit is more chamur, but also mincha and arvit. I just want to say that I saw people, they put on the tefillin. Where do we put on our tefillin? Okay? Tefillin, we put on the top part of the arm, right? By most people, it's covered. We wear a long sleeve, it's covered. Okay? So now, when I put on tefillin, it's impossible not to touch the flesh over there. So what I'm making a bracha, I'm touching the flesh, I have to go wash my hands afterwards. I can't make a bracha, what's going on? So, l'maisa, the halacha is that you don't have to wash your hands. Why? Because it's not considered right now revealed a covered place. Because that's how you put on tefillin. That's the way you do it. So therefore, you don't need to wash your hands. But I do see people that they wash their fingertips afterwards. It's not halacha, it's a minhag chasidut or something. The halacha is that when you put on your tefillin, you don't have to wash your hands afterwards. Even though you you touched a covered place, you don't have to wash your hands afterwards. Settle.